Welcome. Apologies for words such as like, and random pauses as I attempt to take this video within a single shot. Rescue Bus, an innovative ambulance booking system that allows users, patients, and or citizens to book an ambulance whilst also providing essential details such as drivers' names, a driver's cell phone number, as well as all necessary vehicle details. Rescue Bus also offers two types of booking services: a normal booking service, as well as an SOS emergency ambulance booking service. As we can see from the home page, also known as the index page of the Rescue Bus, we have a navigation bar that allows the user to maneuver between different pages and analyze the information quickly and much faster that is within the specific page. Now, let's book an ambulance. Once the user clicks the book an ambulance button, they're taken to the service page where they can see the 6 different types of services that we as Rescue Bus provide and select their desired service. For today, let us use the basic life support service for demonstration. Once one clicks the basic life support button, they are taken to the booking form where, as we can see on screen, there are different inputs series where the user and or citizen inputs their details to help finalize and confirm the booking. Because of time, I'll be using one of the details that I had previously used while testing, but I will also change the last number to show that our input works, and I'll also be inputting a pickup time as well as the reason for booking. Right now, let's say stepped on a nail and in need of medical attention. Just before one confirms and concludes their booking, as we can see, we have to select a driver as well as select a vehicle. When we click the select driver input, as we can see, we get a drop-down list of the different drivers that are associated with that specific service type, be it Derek or Audi, and then also same thing applies for the vehicle. We see the vehicles that are associated with that specific basic life support service type. Now, let's click the button book an ambulance. Once we click the button book an ambulance, as you can see, we're taken to the booking confirmation page whereby we can see the booking summary where we find the global unique identifier as well as the driver details, that including the name, phone number, and the image of the driver as well as the ambulance vehicle details. Right. Going on to the ride history. This is the page where we see all the different rides that have been booked and all the different bookings that have been made using our system. As you can see, you might be wondering, why is one in red and why is the other in simple black font? Well, for all SOS bookings, our font within our ride history comes in a bright red font to allow for easy analyzation of data when analyzing the different types of bookings that have been made within the ride history. We can also view the booking just by simply clicking the view button. And just like that, we are able to see the booking summary of that specific booking that was made with from the ride history, and we can see the driver's details as well as the vehicle details. Now, the last page, management. This is where all things management of drivers and vehicles occurs. As we can see, we have the add and edit of the driver section or column per se according to Bootstrap, as well as the drivers and vehicle lists that are created as we add drivers or we add vehicles or we edit the information of the vehicles and the drivers, right? And this data is saved within the local storage. Now, as you can see over here, I'm editing Derek's data, right? And as you can see, I edited Derek's cell phone number, and when I click Derek again, as we can see, the saved and the newly saved data, right, that links to Derek. We can also search our drivers by their names, and the advantage here is that with Rescue Bus, it is not case sensitive, and we can also filter by service, and just like that, as we search, we find Derek Brown, which is the only Derek or the only driver named Derek, irrespective of the fact that we typed in lowercase. We can also now, as you can see, add a vehicle. I do know that there is no such thing as a BMW van, but for demonstration purposes, I'll be adding the BMW van as well as the registration number, as you can see over there, the service type to which this vehicle will be linked to, and an image link. And just like that, we save the vehicle, and there our BMW van appears. We can also delete this data from the local storage and delete this data or this specific vehicle from the local storage. Right. Now, SOS. How is an SOS booking made? Just like that. We click the button and the first available driver as well as vehicle is booked and are assigned to that emergency where medical assistance is needed. So now I will be moving on to my code. As you can see in 272, we work a lot with, we've learned essentially to work with not just only, basic code, but MVC. And as you can see throughout my assignment as well, right, I have used MVC as well as responsive web design that allows and accommodates for different types of device sizes, so that our system continues to look professional irrespective of the device being used. I've also used image links for most of my images so that when the program runs, the image is loaded via that said image link, as we can see in the index, also known as the home page HTML. I've also saved other images within an image folder that I have created. But I never ended up utilizing these, but just for, showcasing purposes. I also have my controller, I have my models, and as well as all the different views, which is what the user sees over there. Now, going back to my index, as you can see over here, I have used the Bootstrap column as styling, which allows for the responsive web design, which accommodates for different types of devices and etc. And also, as we can see over here, this is the booking confirmation page, whereby this is the HTML code thereof, whereby we can see as well that we're still using the class of the responsive web design, as well as the fact that if you look throughout my program, I have used emojis, and I've also used images, because I've seen that the emojis that I was able to acquire still looked very professional and were a better blend in with the with my program than images that have a different background. Now, moving on to my JavaScript. I think this was definitely the part of the assignment where I struggled quite a lot. As you can see, I have a lot of different comments. Some of them are like just study notes for when I do go back and I study using, this code as essentially this this program, and assignment was given to us for us to learn how to apply all the things we have learned, right? As you can see over here, this is also just linking to the SOS booking, as well as the different functions of which that I use to help and to to help and align my code so that when my program runs, it runs accurately and properly. As we can see over here, essentially this is the load booking form, which is the code that allows for my which is the function that allows for when my booking form page loads, for it to look essentially professional and just as good as it looks. Function over here is the setup booking submission. This is essentially the code that helped supplement and essentially render how my booking form would look, for how my user would see it, and how everything, including how when the input that the user would insert would be saved to the local storage. As you can see also here, this is some of my code that I ended up turning into comments so that I would be able to look back and see, where my errors were, and just learn from that when I study. This as well being the loading of the booking form, right? So that, when my summary loads and my booking confirmation loads, this is the information that is present within that using the different variables that I have created, and essentially helping to assign them as per what was inputted, if that is a word, within the provided input boxes from the booking form. And then this is also just a a note to myself that I'd made, as I'd forgotten to specifically add one of the fields that were within the wire frames, as it's a requirement to have all the fields that was within the wired frame. So all in all, I think at most where I had a bit of a rough time was definitely within the JavaScript, but then with also the help of friends and asking generative AI what exactly my errors are, and having it explain to me step by step what the errors were and potentially how I can fix them. That is how I was able to complete my JavaScript and also complete the logic thereof of my code, of which my code runs on. Thank you very much.